Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us today for Impossible Live. Explore and make space to emerge. I'm delighted to have an opportunity to have another rich dialogue with you. If you're joining us live, please let us know where you're joining us from and a way we can help you in between our live streams. Let's make this a lighter, brighter world for all of us to live in. And let's find ways to help others discover your solutions, your gems. Little emotional today. And not really just because of the title, but I just got a text message from my brother that he's had a shoulder surgery. A real reminder as today talking about exploring. And exploring just means, hey, what's the angle we want to approach something from? And thanks for love and healing energies and wonderful prayers on his behalf. And that really leads me to the explore part. So I learned the hard way and in the process of working with some amazing clients that explore means Mel is now carrying crystals. And explore for me means that, and I have to thank the lovely ladies from Two Sparrows and the beautiful woman who designed this. It's a moon. For me, exploration, teacher's kid, used to mean grab the pen and the pencil and a blank sheet of paper, or go outside, go near some water, and kind of dream of a way to start exploring. Now, after decades in some cases of getting stuck with, it's easy for me sometimes to come up with solutions and ideas for others than it is for myself. When I think of exploring, I used to think of what supplies do I need? What do I need to carry? And part of that reminds me of as a kid, I had this magnetic lunchbox. I have no idea why it was magnetic, but mom would say that I would pack little magnets in there. I guess for some reason I was playing a game with these sometime during a day in between going to school and returning home. But the explore part is kind of the where do I begin? And for some of us, we start from where we're stuck. It really changes the landscape of how we approach exploring. Now, after decades, after helping clients with it, I love to start exploring as if it's a chemistry session. Bring whatever materials you have, bring whatever ideas you have, and bring a way to measure where you are today. So I didn't realize earlier how serious I was today. Hey, Misha, welcome back. Until my brother was about to go into surgery. And I needed to pause and kind of explore where in the world was I? Now, granted, it was a personal exploration, but it's also professional because it's during the workday. And the thing about exploring is sometimes we do it without really checking in internally. We don't check in to, what is it we're feeling? What is it we're seeing? What is it that we're measuring? And we don't do it in a way where if we don't explore with the right mindset, we're not ready or willing to ask for help. So, as you're exploring, I'd suggest starting from the perspective, and Misha's got an amazing Empower Her event that she has on Mondays. So, Misha, definitely, if you haven't had a chance to meet this amazing woman yet, hey, Cheryl, welcome. Thanks so much for popping in. And on the other side, I really want to thank you for that amazing energy that always helps me explore. So, the part is, what are we bringing to the exploration? And are we really doing that check in at a soul level? Are we checking into where we actually are? And Are we trusting that the right people are around us to help us support that exploration? So that's one of the things that I love doing with clients. And I call it a chemistry session because it's a chance just to kind of check in. What ingredients do we have around? Do things kind of feel like they're the right fit? And that's where I would encourage you to start, from the perspective, hey, Caron, thanks for popping in. That's where I would encourage you to start, from the point of exploring. I used to forget for myself that I needed to do that soul check in. I used to forget to actually share that with people who were supporting me. It made things much harder. I'm grateful for really wise, dynamic clients to have really helped me. Hey Dee, how are you? To have helped me learn that, and collaborators that I can trust. And thanks some of them for kind of being in this space with us today. One of the hard things about it, and Misha's agreeing, I appreciate it, is the chemistry part. That chemistry is a key element to exploring. It means you have some equipment, you have some goals, you have a way that you're looking to kind of measure. And let's say measure where we're starting from. It's the part we miss. When we think of making space, we're always thinking of, ooh, where do I want to go? What do I want to change? What do I want to transform? What do I want to fix? And from that mindset, just really, the mental fitness through positive intelligence has helped me learn that's really our saboteur sometimes, kind of shaping and shading where we are. I prefer to think of it in a way that Louisa of Mastering Cultural Differences taught me. Louisa taught me, think of it in terms of expanding past your comfort zones. Think of it in terms of creating dialogue zones. So that process of exploring, got to be able to communicate what's happening, what's going on, what isn't going on, and frame it from a lens of thinking of how to transform. And Louisa's reminder to search for dialogue zones would be a place to make space to emerge. It would lead me back to something I was stuck on recently in exploring. And I always am writing, always, except for the past 3 weeks. Some stuff was happening, needed to explore it. Team expansion, lots of new ideas, new technology, new systems, big, big, big dreams. And in the process, I thought I had the steps lined up. We think of it sometimes when we're making space to emerge that we're starting from the beginning. We're not starting from the beginning. We're starting from where we are. And I was missing that piece. And it's crazy because I measure this all the time. We're talking to new clients and new collaborators. We started today. I asked you, what's one thing that you'd love to share in between the times that we see each other? It's acknowledging something is about to change. But in order to really measure that, we got to figure out, here's where I am. Whether it's gray, whether it's cloudy, whether it's black and white, whether it's full color, but that make space to emerge has to do with where we are, what are our current comfort zones, what are our current boundaries, what are some things we would like to change. That make space to emerge really involves having someone around to help us make space. We don't necessarily hold space for ourselves, and we need somebody around us outside to help us make that space. It may be a safe space for communication. It may be an accountability partner with whom you want to check in. It may be a team member who is just observing, and maybe occasionally It is kind of weighing in. It may be also somebody, thanks again, Misha, start from now. And the part about it that I was missing in my own journey sometimes was awareness. And the part about starting from now, we really need to be present and fully present. And it doesn't always happen. Good example. I haven't been journaling for 3 weeks. I'm about to get back to my impossible love and gratitude journal. Today's my reminder. I said that last week. Now that my brother's had a surgery, I'm going to pick up that pen and start seriously writing. On the other hand, the part about making space is making space sometimes for transparency and making space for vulnerability. And we're in a world where professionally people are like, be careful what you share. Don't overshare it. I love uh, a wonderful dialogue from the amazing Judy Fox, Judy with an I, if you're on LinkedIn or on other platforms. And Judy reminded us or suggested if we explored our tickle points, and that's the part I'd say explore and make space to emerge. We start sometimes from the gray side, we start from the darker side. And I'm suggesting we step into the light. What is something on the other side as we're creating space, as we're trying to emerge, as we're trying to, in my case, I was trying to break out of that turtle shell, that introvert shell. The good news is I can really be outside of it. On the other hand, when not always feeling totally comfortable, and when I'm not asking the right people for support, I go back into that shell. I used to call it like a black hole, a dark hole. And what I'd say about that would be that everybody's got them. We don't always see them. We don't always see each other's comfort zones. We don't always see each other's safe spaces to have a dialogue, to have a conversation, to support a step. Phone's been ringing off the hook today. And I wasn't expecting it. And I'm grateful because others are calling me as they're making space to emerge. I laugh all the time because we come up with a title for Impossible Live. And then the universe is like, hey, you wanted some dialogue on this. You wanted some information. You wanted some content. You wanted something to share. But the thing is, the calls today have all been with vulnerability. They've all been with transparency, where others are sharing where they are. And that sometimes it's not always bright, warm, sunshiny, and rosy. Next week, I'll be in a very watery paradise, and I hope to come share some of that with you in lives. It's also reminding me I maybe have been taking the break from writing, knowing full well that when the plane leaves, I'm going to be writing nonstop. And I might have been giving myself a break to just explore the chance to dial in and kind of listen to my own voice. We forget that sometimes. We forget to check into our core. And make space to emerge was a tagline of the BVisible shift celebration I had a couple of weeks ago. But it's the reminder making space really includes holding space. Ask others to help you hold a space, a safe space, a sacred space, a place where when we don't hear our own voices, when we don't see our own thoughts, when, as I'm able to say to you now, my brother's out of surgery now, I hear the relief. I hear, the stuff that's going to come out. I'm grateful. Got lots of tissues nearby. And in that process, behind that release of emotion, I'll be able to do some serious writing. I'm also acknowledging when we're talking, just like, and I love it because Cheryl has got an amazing, amazing summit going on right now with some fabulous speakers, and we'll get her to drop that into the chat. But if you haven't had a chance, check out Cheryl J. Moses. She's had some amazing speakers. I learned that to make space to emerge, I need more naps, that I need more energy, and really, I need more fuel. And if you're feeling that as you're exploring, whether it's writing a book, whether you're working on some amazing projects that light you up, or whether you're feeling stuck at a crossroads, maybe about to launch something, maybe you feel like you need to hit a pause button, ask someone to check in with you if they don't hear from you in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks, or if they don't see you move. You may need somebody just to say, hey, I see you. Hey, I hear you. Cheryl's amazing summit that I really have been enjoying and having a lot of fun playing catch up with. Amazing, amazing speakers. Charlene Brown, who joined us recently as an amazing guest, is one of Cheryl's guests. One of her other amazing speakers spoke about naps and the power of naps. I really appreciated that. And Cheryl will laugh. I listened to that this weekend in the process of preparing for Make Space to Emerge. We need people to hold space. We need to feel other support, and that making space to emerge, we don't know which end we're coming out. We've planned to emerge from the tunnel. We've planned to share an idea. We've planned to take a step. I had a big project I was working on, and two team members made suggestions, and I listened. I looked at it from their perspective. Well, this weekend, I looked at it from mine, and the suggestions they made, I understood they came from a place of love, from a place of knowledge. I knew I needed to take a different path. That's where I started. But my team members will laugh. I just invested in what they suggested I invested 4 months ago. And I just invested in it because it's the right solution. It's the right way to come out. They're ready to support me on that path. I've now done the groundwork, kind of Mel style, turtle in a shell. And it's now time to make space to emerge using the tool that they suggested. One of the things I think that's really hard for us is when we're exploring stuff that's going to change something, we feel like we have to give something up. I'm trying to encourage you, don't give up the awareness. Don't give up the chance to realign, to reimagine, to put the puzzle pieces, as I said in a recent conversation with Karen Janine recently. Light up those puzzle pieces. Let other people help light them up. Granted, sometimes we don't feel decisions right for us. I knew I needed to learn differently. And I'm delighted because a conversation I had with somebody recently, we talked about learning styles. And I went back to something that I've been looking at, a tool I've been using for over 6 years. And I heard myself say out loud, oh, I learned differently. And you know what? That's what led to the change this weekend, to invest in something yesterday that'll help me make space to emerge. I'm not sure today if the awareness is a piece that's missing for you, if the presence part, because occasionally we're not fully present, some things moved us, some things distracted us. I had the pleasure last week of having some really deep conversations with my brother. They've continued. And I know now I won't be able to talk to him for a little bit as he's healing and recovering. But I now know the space exists for new things to happen and for him to feel really well supported, the same way he helps me feel really well supported. Somewhere, there's somebody out there who can help you make space to emerge and help you explore in safe chemistry sessions. If you don't have somebody that you feel you can call for that, please don't hesitate to reach out. That chemistry part is a really key component to how I like to show up to help others create a place to flourish, to thrive, to grow. And I am so grateful for you today for joining me. And to those who've been really supporting us with wonderful healing prayers and healing energies. And I appreciate the good juju for family and for my heart. And today, just like this little crescent moon, and I'm going to share the name of the beautiful business owner who helped create this and the beautiful ladies who helped me hold this. This is my reminder to keep exploring, whether I'm doing it on male terms, on other terms, on a client's terms, on a team's terms, in the process of reaching for something new. For me, it's related to kind of our moon cycles. Took me a while to realize it, and I'm grateful for amazing, amazing coaches for helping me learn that. There's something that you need to keep close to you to encourage you, just like amazing Martin Stark, who's helping with inspiring some courage. If you don't have a Martin Stark, check him out. Start following him. If you need a Jeffrey Davis of Tracking Wonder to help you redefine how you explore and you explore a curiosity. And if there's something I can do to help support you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank you for joining us today, live and for replays. And next week, get ready for some water views. They are about to come out, and I cannot thank you enough. You'll see also in some of our fall topics, as some of my team members have really helped me understand, more of the mental fitness sage is going to come out, more of the positive intelligence so that we stay fully present, more of the trust work. If there's a conversation or a topic that you'd suggest that I have with someone, really wide open to them, and I'd love your suggestions. And I'm looking forward to Cheryl's next guest in her Speak to Supply summit that she's having. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you again for support, for encouragement, for helping us all believe that we're impossible as we try to ignite trust in our fragile world. Thank you so much. Have a magnificent day filled with opportunities and possibilities. And let's connect to celebrate again for a series of virtual toasts soon. Take great care. Be well. Stay safe.